Well, the stock market seems to be trading like a meme coin, going up and down 10% a day. That's trillions of dollars in value, swinging like it's nothing. And it doesn't seem like it's going to stop anytime soon. It also brings up a lot of questions with maybe integrity into what's going on because of stuff that Trump's been tweeting and his decisions on, tariffs off, tariffs on, tariffs off, going back and forth, all this stuff. Uh, there was one incident that actually kind of sparked everything off here. So this was the S&P added $3 trillion on a rumor unconfirmed that they were considering a 90-day pause on tariffs. So what happened? This guy tweeted out a thing here saying that Trump is considering a 90-day pause in tariffs for all countries except China. So when he tweeted this, it was April 7th. That didn't happen yet. And everyone was, they saw this and said, whoa, that's crazy. We're backing off tariffs again. The market has got a pump. And that's what happened. The market pumped, added $3 trillion off of this. And then it came out that the White House said they are not aware of this news at all and it's fake news. And you see it, then the market dumped off of the White House saying, well, whoa, guys, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's actually not true. But as we know, what turned out is it was true. So it seems like this guy might have known what he was talking about. And then the White House came out and said, no, it's not happening. And then the next day or a couple days later, Trump goes on Truth Social and says, this is a great time to buy, and conveniently puts DJT, which is his stock ticker. It's also his initials, so maybe he's trying to get some leeway there where he can say, I'm not promoting my stock. I'm not doing, these are just my initials. I'm just saying I tweeted this, or I truthed this. I don't know what it's called on this. He truthed it. But it's his symbol, so it's very weird to be seeing this, right? To see that what is going on, like there's been a person reporting that these tariffs were going to be paused. The White House said, no, they're not going to be paused. And then a few days later, Trump comes out saying this is a great time to buy. And then when he truthed this, a couple hours later, he paused the tariffs and the market rallied yet again. So what is going on? Is Trump insider trading? Is his cabinet insider trading? Is the White House, the government? We already know all these guys insider trade. They all try to quietly deny it. But there's no quiet to this, right? There's no quiet at all. You can't go out and say it's a great time to buy, knowing that you're about to pause tariffs and that's going to cause the market to rally. So what do we have going on here, right? Is this insider trading? Is Trump insider trading? Is his cabinet? Is his administration? Is the entire government, right? We already know, like, Congress was doing that. There's people we'd follow. But I mean, it's not surprising if the entire government insider trades and now it's just not quiet about it. But now, because of this and people hating Trump, there's senators coming out talking about that they've got to stop this. And, he's these huge swings in the stock market are insider trading, and that Congress has to find out if he's insider trading.
So today, Trump removed many of the tariffs he had imposed in this on again, off again, it must be Wednesday, tariffs are off again kind of policy. This has just wreaked havoc on the markets, of course, but there is another profound danger as well, and that is insider trading within the White House, within the administration. You may have seen early in the day Trump tweet this. Yeah, this is a good time to buy. So the question is, between that tweet and Donald Trump's announcement that he was reducing the tariffs on most other nations apart from China, the question is, who knew what the president was going to do? And did people around the president trade stock knowing the incredible gyration the market was about to go through?
Well, my guess on that would be absolutely people knew, because you can also look at Unusual Whales. They tweeted about this and said, very suspicious, a lot of spy calls being bought just before the announcement of tariffs being dropped. And I think those spy calls went up like 2,100% in like an hour after these tariffs got paused. So yeah, people definitely knew. People traded on it. This isn't anything new, but maybe this will spark something because people hate Trump. Maybe Congress will actually do something. I doubt it. I bet that this is all talk, and they're going to talk up a big game and say, oh, insider trading's bad and it's super bad. Oh my God, can you believe this? But they're all doing it. They're all insider trading. Every single person in the government is insider. Well, most of them. Some of them don't own stocks, but most of them are insider trading. I mean, there's a quote from like I think Dan Crenshaw, I think that's his name, coming out saying, if you don't let Congress insider trade, how are they going to make money? Like, these guys don't make 6 figures a year to do basically nothing. But I doubt anything comes from this. I mean, this is a video of this guy just continuing to talk. I mean, I don't think, he really dives into it. He just kind of talks about how insider trading's bad, Trump's doing it, so it's terrible, and then saying, like, we got to look into this. Like, yeah, please do. Look into everyone, right? Everyone's insider trading. Let's take everyone down. But I'm willing to bet that that won't happen. That Congress is not going to ban themselves from making money on information that only they know, that's technically not insider trading because they're not part of the company. They just know the decisions that are going to affect the company before anyone else does. So technically they're not insider trading, and they'll never take away their own ability to print money. I just don't believe that's ever going to happen. Even though it should, they shouldn't be allowed to trade on their information, sensitive information that the public doesn't know. That's like the definition of insider trading. If a company CEO exec did that, that'd be a problem. But government officials, let it sing. Trade all you want. But yeah, I mean, kind of crazy that we had this come out, this tweet saying, the pause is coming. The White House saying, no, they're not. And then Trump immediately saying, buy the dip and pausing tariffs, doing exactly what that tweet said. So the bigger question is kind of, is the White House lying, right? Did people not be able to get their positions filled that they wanted before they rode the pump up and they got mad that this guy leaked that the pause was coming? Or was it truthfully just a spur of the moment, the pause isn't coming, and then a few days later, bond yields exploded, stocks crashed, and, Trump said, well, hold on here. We can't let this happen, and decided to back off. I don't know. All of it's weird. All of it just is kind of what happened in the background just coming to public. I don't think any of this is too new, right? We know Congress insider trades. We know the government, probably most of the people in the government that have sensitive information, if they can make money off that, they're going to make some money. Don't know what you do to really stop it besides banning them from being able to trade stocks. But they still would find a way, right? Most people would say the idea would ban individual stocks, tell them to only be able to buy the market, like the S&P, but they'll still trade. I mean, the person traded calls on the S&P and was up 2,100% in like an hour or two. So they can still find ways to do this stuff. I think that's the best way to limit it without banning them from owning stocks. They'll just go to like their spouse or their kids or relatives, friends. They'll just let somebody else trade off the information and then, take that money. So it's a really difficult thing to kind of solve, but I just think that we're seeing it in the public eye now instead of it being fully behind closed doors and people just are kind of oblivious to knowing it's happening. But hey, the tweet that moved markets trillions of dollars, supposedly fake, coming out to be real a couple days later, it's like $10 trillion worth of value being pumped up and down in a couple days off of tweets. If you would have told someone that 20 years ago, they would have called you crazy that a tweet could move markets trillions of dollars in an hour. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.